I designed a truly sadistic Zelda challenge, and my adorable kitty's happiness is on the line. I took on the Tower of Hera in Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's a vertical gauntlet filled with fireballs, perilous falls, and kitchen tiles with murderous intentions. The goal was to make it through all of the tower's challenges and take out the boss, Moldorm. And once I slayed that fiend, my beloved Boulette would receive one of her favorite treats, Churu. The thing about Moldorm is that it's well known for being annoying. You can be doing great against it, but if you make one mistake, it'll yeet you out of the fight. Extremely disrespectful. Some would say that just going through this would be enough of a challenge, but some would be wrong. I ramped up the difficulty to a psychotic level by incorporating burpees. Every minute that passed, I had to do burpees equal to that minute number. So 1 in minute 1, 2 in minute 2, 3 in minute 3. You get it. You do get it, right? And every time I took damage, I had to do 5 extra. The beginning wasn't that bad. I got through that first burpee no problem. This whole challenge would be over very quickly if I did have a problem with the first burpee. I was just trying to progress as quickly as possible without taking damage. That was going fine until I ran into the kitchen tiles. I made my first crucial error of the run. So I thought the extra 5 burpees might not be too bad, but I felt them. Oh yes, I felt them. They made a difference, and I realized that mistakes and damage are gonna be more costly than I anticipated. And that's something I have to keep in mind for life. Even if things are urgent, most of the time I found it's better to go a little bit slower and do things right than to rush and make crucial mistakes. Unfortunately, this is something that I didn't internalize until after the run. So I made a lot of panicked mistakes, and I paid for them. At the 60 burpee mark, I was getting close to Moldorm. There were some infant Moldorms around that I manhandled because I'm not above attacking children. In fact, I prefer it. Burpees were starting to add up though. I was definitely glistening at this point, but still feeling pretty good. At the 92 burpee mark, I realized I had to do some puzzle solving before I got to the boss fight. And that spooked me a little bit because the urgency of the situation was starting to sink in and my brain was not working at 100% capacity. Luckily, even with burpee brain, I was able to solve that puzzle at the 104 burpee mark. I was tired, but not exhausted yet. I was about to get to Moldorm, and I had a lot of gas left in the tank. Things were looking good until they weren't. I tried unsuccessfully to take him out from a safe distance. Unsurprisingly, that didn't work, because apparently Zelda doesn't reward you for being a little coward. So I decided to be so brave and actually enter the boss fight. I jumped into the arena with that monstrosity, and that's when things went off the rails. I could not figure out its pattern. At best, I'd land one shot before I was bullied. I did attempt after attempt, and the burpee count skyrocketed. I was feeling it at 200, then 250, 300. By 350, I was really slowing down. At this point, I was doing around 25 burpees per minute of gameplay, and I was falling apart. Then, just after the 400 burpee mark, this happened. Now that was truly heartbreaking. That was so demoralizing. I needed to take a break and reassess my life choices at that point. I took 20 minutes to catch my breath and mentally gear myself up for another attempt. But I had to do it from the entrance of the tower. But man, I had nothing left. I couldn't regain focus at that point. So I got to 450 burpees. 500 burpees. And just past the 550 burpee mark, the thought of going through another set of 30 plus burpees just felt like too much, especially since I still hadn't made it to Moldorm again yet. So I tapped out. In addition to all of this, I'd been nursing a minor leg injury for the last few weeks while I was training for a race. And in my infinite wisdom, I decided to go for a hard run the next morning after doing 550 burpees. The good news is that I set a new PR for the 5K. Bad news, I broke myself. I had to miss the race, and I also couldn't do this challenge in the same way anymore. I still wanted to go through a challenge and earn that churu for Boulette though, so the rules had to change. Instead of burpees, it would be beans. Every minute and every time that I took damage, I would eat a jelly bean. I'm talking about bean boozled beans. Beans that will randomly either have a normal flavor or taste like something horrendous that should never be consumed by humans. Flavors such as barf, stinky socks, and old bandage. I was super unprepared the first time that I went through the Tower of Hera, but I felt much more ready this time around. 1 minute passed, it was time for the first bean, burnt rubber. The second bean, marshmallow. Nice. Third bean, my old friend, burnt rubber. After only 5 beans though, I made it back to Moldorm. I was determined not to let it shove me around this time. It immediately shoved me around. Because of that damage, I ate bean number 6, rubber flavored. I wasn't gonna let that stop me though. A hero has to bounce back from adversity, even if they have the taste of tires in their mouth. So I went back up there and started going to work. Bean number 8 was consumed right before the battle. Stinky sock flavored. Didn't let that stop me though. I landed the first 2 hits, which was already better than my previous performance. And then I got on a hot streak and made it to 5 hits on Moldorm. 1 away from victory. This is the moment when Moldorm speeds up though. It finally landed its first shot against me and almost knocked me off. I paused the clock and ate bean number 9, barf flavored. I immediately took damage again. Bean number 10, stinky socks. But then, finally, I did it. Moldorm was defeated. The quest was complete. Boulette got her churu. I learned a lot along the way. I broke myself physically and mentally, but I made it to the other side. But if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing and let me know if you have any ideas for challenges that I can take on. Thanks for watching.